All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our Saturday morning crypto talk. My name is Brandon Ivey from Los Angeles, California. I'm the founder and CEO of Ivy League Crypto Academy. We teach crypto education for a living. Go ahead and type your name in the chat box where you're listening in from. We are streaming. This is Saturday, so we stream live to the public as well on Saturday to give everybody kind of a sneak peek at what we do in our inner circle. So I want to welcome those of you guys on watching on our YouTube channel as well. As a disclaimer, I am not a licensed financial advisor to be giving financial advice. I share information for educational, entertainment, and training purposes only, and it is up to you to make your own informed, intelligent decision on which direction you want to move into. I see from our inner circle side, we've got Carla Arrigo. Good morning, and Deborah, Elijah Morgan, iPhone user Jacqueline Briggs, Jacqueline iPhone, I think that's Jacqueline from Atlanta, Johnny Moore Jr., Joyce Easley, Keith Birch, Kenny Taylor, Leonard Long, Nathan Hansberger, Wild Bill. Yeah, it is cold. Now, cold is relative. Joyce says, I'm dressed like it's cold. It's 8 o'clock in the morning here in California and it's cold for me. Now, it's not snowing or anything. The sun is out and bright. I have not had a chance to really go outside and get my walk in or anything like that yet, but it's cold. But also ask I extend if you guys can keep my family in your prayers. We are got some devastating news I'm not ready to share just yet, but just keep us in our prayers. It's been a difficult time for us the last couple of months. All right, so saying that, let's jump on in because we've got a busy schedule. We've got a lot of news this morning. I was just looking up that just what popped up. And also, I am doing the MoveQuest presentation at the top of the hour. So I don't have a lot of time. I might not be able to exactly read everything, but I can make sure that we cover and recognize some of these topics. This has been a historic week in the United States. And let's start with first looking at the charts. This has been a wild week. And as I had predicted that if Trump won, we would see a semi-golden era start to begin in the crypto space. And we saw that Bitcoin reached an all-time high. Even the stock markets even had more of a bump. So let's refresh this to see what the market is telling us today. So we're at 2.72 trillion. Now, this is a rarity. All right, Inner Circle members, this is rare that this happens. We 0% movement in the past 24 hours. It normally is always a little bit in the green, a little bit in the red, but slightly up. Not enough to register. Well, we're at 2.72 trillion. Bitcoin dominance is at 55.5%. That's kind of dropped over the last, well, I didn't do crypto talk yesterday. Friday's my day off. Thursday, it was, I think, 55.7, 55.6. So that's dropped a little bit. Ethereum dominance, 13.5. That's gone up. It was in the 12% range. Now that's gone up. So Ethereum should have had a boost. Those of you in the inner circle, what did we say earlier this week? Or what did I predict? And you guys made money on? What token, if you had $10,000, did you put it on? Bitcoin or Ethereum? I said Ethereum. Jacqueline got there right there. Ethereum. So let's see what would have happened. Well, if you did put it on Bitcoin, you would have made a 10% gain over the last week. But those of you that put it on Ethereum, like I said, you would have made 22.6%. Ethereum is now at $3,000. Bitcoin is at $76,000. You got to appreciate this. The reason is why is because Bitcoin is 15 years old. Okay. All-time high was 20 hours ago, $77,239. Sitting at right now, 76,346. In Bitcoin's entire lifetime, it has only been this high for 24 hours. So, what does that also tell you? Those in the inner circle, what do I teach? You buy low you sell high. So a question that a new person would ask me is, Brandon, Bitcoin's going all over the place. Trump won. Should I buy Bitcoin? My answer is always yes. If someone ever asks me, should I buy Bitcoin? The answer is always yes. However, if you're trying to make a quick buck, then this is not the time for you to try to be buying Bitcoin. If this is the highest it's ever been for the last 24 hours after 15 years, you're not going to make a quick buck because you would need it to continue to go higher and then sell. So just statistically, it's going to come back down a little bit. So how long or how high will this train keep going up? Now, you guys know my prediction in the inner circle, how high I think Bitcoin will go by at least this time next year. And you got to be in the inner circle for me to say that. On Monday, I'll share that. But I would suggest, if you're trying to make a quick buck, that you might want to get Ethereum. Why? Because with Bitcoin being at its all-time high, Ethereum is not. Ethereum's all-time high is $4,878 3 years ago. So that means you will make more on your money buying Ethereum and watching it go up than you would buying Bitcoin and watching Bitcoin go up. Short term, kind of long term too, actually. You guys remember I had a quick chat with Professor Oscar Sistra from Morehouse College. He's very big on Ethereum because he's like me. I believe one day Ethereum's going to be a $40,000 token. So even if Bitcoin goes to 150,000 to 200,000, that's not a high as gain as Ethereum going from 3,000 to 40,000. So saying that, let's take a quick look at, oh yeah, I want to look at the rest of the charts. This is week to week for Saturday. So let's look at the past 7 days. Best performer, Radium, 64.1%. Nero, 58.8%. Nero, that looks like a meme coin that I'm not too familiar with. 58.8% jump. Ethena, 43.2. Chronos. Wow. This is the crypto.com coin. 42.6% jump in 1 week. I got to check I have not checked my crypto.com wallet in a long time. We used to really trade on that. I think maybe right before I created ILCA or right after my crypto talks. Aave 38.7, Mantle 38.3, Doge, yeah, this is the Elon Musk talking about it. Aerodrome Finance 29. This has been a very good week, not just for Bitcoin, but look at all these coins. They're all double-digit green. And more than likely it's because of the election results. The worst performers, Tron is down 3.6%, Mantra is down 2.3, PopCat 1.9. So those are the only ones really. They did not capitalize off of this week. I'm surprised about Tron though. I thought that this one would have had a bump. Okay. What about MQT? Let me refresh this. MQT, we're sitting at 16.4%, down 2.7% in the last 24 hours. However, look, oh, this is interesting. Looking at the RSI, diamond members, we discussed this, how to read the chart with the Bollinger Bands and the candlesticks. The RSI chart, it briefly popped above the top, but now we've got a big red candlestick. What happened here? It must be this one right here. Someone sold 31 MQT for $500, dropped it a little bit there. Did I see any? Oh, there was a purchase, 90 MQT for 1,400. Another one. Ooh, somebody's buying the dip. This is what I've been doing all week. I did it live. What was that? Thursday? Inner Circle. I showed you guys I bought MQT. I'm thinking long term here. Yeah, buy the dip. $1,700 worth. Someone $1,100, $1,000 worth, another $1,000 worth purchases. It didn't really pull the price up that much though. 30 MQT sell. And remember inner circle, what did I tell you? Anytime you see an MQT sell amount more than 11 or 12 MQT, is more than likely from an individual that is either a trader, like this guy right here, this is a trader, or not, and it wasn't from mining, or they already had a stash of MQT. Anything less than that, people are just doing their submissions and the claims, like this one. That's a claim. 14, that could be a claim. 14 MQT, 15 MQT. Any outliers standing out here? Now we are on the eve of the launch of the new MoveQuest app, which I will make a prediction is going to spike this price. Making that prediction. Everybody's in standby mode waiting for that. Here's a sell of 69 MQT. So in preparation, I will tell the public what I tell the inner circle. If you're in position to, you might want to buying the dip. Also, those individuals, if you're able to as well, and just so you guys know, I had a talk with Marnita the other day, and another member out of Australia gave a great suggestion. You know, you guys remember the VARA project from 2023 that every time their web developers had a live broadcast on it, I had to come up and follow up doing what I call a whisper, the VARA whisper. Break it down in layman's terms. Break it down in a way that my mama can understand. Well, it's been requested if I could do kind of the same thing with MQT and have a set time where I have my own, not really a Q&A section where we're going to allow you guys to submit some questions. And then maybe once a week or so, I go over those. Now, we're not talking about customer support questions. We're going over questions about understanding how this works, how things are operating, what it means, what it looks like. And we're going to be doing that for our inner circle. So if you want to be a part of that, that's top secret type stuff. You got to be in the inner circle because there are strategies to this. And I have a lot of strategies and I am working at when it comes to MQT. Like for one, I understand volatility and when it comes to mining, especially if you follow Bitcoin. Do you know that Bitcoin miners face a very, very tough time every 4 years when the Bitcoin halving takes place? And what happens is the Bitcoin, like the 2020 halving, it went down to 6.25 Bitcoin every 10 minutes when a block is released. That goes all to all the miners. And then in 2024, the halving took place and it went to 3.125 Bitcoins being released, but the same amount of work, the same amount of cost, the same amount of energy is being spent and they're getting half the the Bitcoin as they were before. So if you listen to this community, then all those Bitcoin miners should just pack up and leave and stop mining Bitcoin because it's no longer profitable to do it. It's costing them more money than they're earning mining Bitcoin. But do the Bitcoin miners stop during this time? No. Actually, it's the opposite. More miners come online during that time. Why? Because mentally, they understand that, yes, I may be getting less tokens, but eventually Bitcoin is going to be worth more. It's not going to be worth more tomorrow, not going to be worth more next month, but they know at least in the next 18 months, you're going to have a spike. So they go into what's called accumulation mode. Leading up to that Bitcoin halving, all they're doing is taking their profits and they're storing it up to sustain themselves during this period of time where the market's like this. And the next thing you know, Bitcoin's now worth 100 something thousand dollars a coin. And they were accumulating that Bitcoin during the low time. And now it's worth far more now. When I do the MoveQuest presentation, you see me show the video of Marnita claiming 10.5 MQT. What is that worth? Well, it depends on when she decides to sell it. She could sell it at $16, but if she holds on to it, what happens if MQT goes right back to its all-time high of $125? Well, let's dream mode that just for a second. The same 10.5 MQT times $125, that's $1,312 she made for the previous 10 days. She just didn't sell it until it reached up that high. So mentally, most people don't get this. So what I've noticed is, in fact, I got a claim I'll be doing a 10-day claim on two of my devices I'm going to be doing later today. And I've noticed that I'm getting more MQT now because I am still submitting and claiming every day, even with the fees being higher than other people. People have stopped because they feel that it's not financially worth it. And I'm like, yeah, you do that. Because a guy like me is gobbling up those tokens. And we're getting double, if you haven't forgotten. It's really 5,000 MQT that's being released a day. Only 2,500 is going directly to us. The other is going into the vault that's going to be released to us a little later. So you're getting double. So strategies on this. And we go with this in the inner circle. I said more than I should have on this open line. All right. Let's get into some of the news real quick because there's a lot. Regulatory clarity on horizon under Trump, but hurdles remain. The new Donald Trump administration could bring regulatory clarity to the crypto industry, but complex factors may hinder rapid progress. What are the factors that can hinder that? Regulatory clarity requires patience. While the new Donald Trump administration might offer some regulatory clarity, partner Ling Zhang, partner at DFW Labs, a substantial regulatory movement will take time due to existing complex and interdependent dynamics and interests at play. While Trump's past promises to the crypto industry won him its support, Zhang emphasizes the need for a holistic understanding of the economic benefits of clear crypto regulations. This would allow the U.S. to embrace the crypto sector and compete with major crypto hubs like Singapore, Japan, and Hong Kong. I agree and disagree with this. It's not like this is brand new. I mean, it's not like all of a sudden we wake up one morning and people are like, what's Bitcoin? No, this has been in the works for a decade. We know exactly what needs to be done. So I don't think it's going to take as long as what he says, based on what Trump says he's going to do, based on what he says he's going to do. With Donald Trump's victory in the recent elections, there's a question of whether the administration might follow Asia's example by pursuing clear regulations for the crypto space. However, the increasing global interest in crypto and Web3 could prompt a shift in, diamond class. What are we currently studying right now? Web3. Why? This is why. We're hearing it in the news. That's it. You're going to start hearing this more and more and more. You need to know what Web3 is. Those of you who are not, either you didn't purchase my courses yet or you're not a Diamond member, let me show you an example. Why I got it logged in again? I got thrown out of my own system. Hold up. Ah! All right, Marnita, we got to. I was just in here yesterday. I got thrown on my own system. All right, I can't show that right now. Anyways, the Web3 courses we're covering in our Diamond class. This is a must that you know what Web3 is all about. It seems that there would need to be a holistic understanding of the economic benefits. We know what that is. All right, this is a whole opinion piece. I'm not reading all that, but I don't agree with him. It's going to take time. Nah, things are good. I said that if Harris won It was going to happen anyway. It was going to take time. But because Trump won, Trump is coming into, I'll just put it this way. This time around, he's coming in with a sledgehammer. He wants to break the system and then try to rebuild it. Will he be successful? I don't know. But I know what he's trying to do, and we'll see what happens. So the crypto regulatory space, I think is going to happen very quickly. Trump's crypto aid. U.S. should act quickly to incorporate a strategic Bitcoin reserve. I agree with this 100%. This should have started to happen after Silk Road 10 years ago. With Trump's crypto allegiance and his new status as president-elect of the U.S., talks of establishing a strategic Bitcoin reserve have surged. I still think U.S. has one. At least I hope so. That they were smart enough to, but behind the scenes, the public doesn't know about it. Am I giving the U.S. too much credit? While this can be achieved in several ways, Trump's cryptocurrency aide and CEO of BTC.Inc., David Bailey, has suggested expediting this task, fearing a possible front-running movement from third parties. What if? Now, I haven't brought this up in a long time. Remember, I used to do the training on who is Satoshi Nakamoto, and I shared who I believe it is. I don't believe it's a person. I believe it's an agency, whether it's from the US or the UK. And I believe they own that Satoshi wallet with more than 1 million Bitcoin just sitting in it. Now, that could be a conspiracy. Who knows? But I will be disappointed if to find out that the United States all this time has not made a move on this currency when the banks have. Bank of America had 70 blockchain patents in 2017 when they were while they were kicking out anybody that had a crypto account. Jamie Dimon doing the same doggone thing. All right. Trump's crypto aid calls to create Bitcoin reserve fast. I agree. The victory of President-elect Donald Trump at the polls has made the crypto community delve into the many Bitcoin and crypto-related promises he made while still in the campaign. Says America is at major risk of being front-run on its Bitcoin agenda. We must establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve as quickly as possible. I agree. While Trump has not openly discussed a Bitcoin reserve, this idea, wait, yes, he has. He brought it up at the Tennessee event that I said Harris made a mistake not attending. This idea has been floating for quite some time in crypto and government circles. Trump has disagreed with the U.S. government's Bitcoin sales before. For too long, our government has violated the cardinal rule that every Bitcoiner knows by heart. Never sell your Bitcoin. We talked about this on Crypto Talk Thursday. He declared while delivering a keynote speech. In the same way he promised that no more Bitcoin will be sold if he was elected president, it will be the policy of my administration, United States of America, to keep 100% of all the Bitcoin the U.S. government currently holds or acquires in the future. Trump detailed at that time. The United States could do exactly what BlackRock did. BlackRock in 7 months became the third largest holder of Bitcoin in the world. The United States government has far more resources than BlackRock does. Yes, BlackRock has $10 trillion under management, but they do not have the GDP of the United States. So the United States can do this quickly, and the fact that they haven't, that we know about, leads me more to believe because they already have. That's why I keep saying I think they are the ones behind Satoshi Nakamoto, this whole thing. That's conspiracy stuff. All right. Fed boss won't leave. What did I tell you guys? I said the CBDC has already been decided. There's nothing the president, Ron DeSantis, Ted Cruz, none of them can do. The Federal Reserve is independent. It is separate. They're the ones that run things. They're the Iron Bank of Game of Thrones. Doesn't matter who the king is. Whoever holds the bank runs everything. The Federal Reserve already made this decision and they wrote a white paper on it. And I read that white paper, maybe a year ago. And it's on YouTube somewhere, where it was like understanding what real money is. Most people have no idea what real money is. So look at this. Fed boss won't leave. Ron Paul slams Powell's untouchable authority because they asked him, he said, if President Trump tells you to step down, will you step down? He said no. And he can't make him either. The president can appoint, but he can't fire him. Now we're getting into America's about to wake up to who's got the power here. Former Congressman Ron Paul scrutinized the Federal Reserve and its leadership, raising concerns over the power dynamics between the Fed, its chair Jerome Powell, and the political influence. And the only reason why this is coming up now, Ron Paul knows this, is because of what I told you guys before the election, that Trump is bringing a different dynamic of control to the space where traditionally in American history, we had separation of powers. You've got the three branches of government. They are supposed to be on equal footing, separate, because they have separate roles that represent separate things. But over the last 50 or so years in the United States, it's become more tribal. It's not about different branches of government. It's about whose party are you in and who is the leader of that party. So if the Democrats have a Democratic president in office, then all the Democrats in the House and the Senate and the governors, they all need to follow what the president wants to do in the president's agenda. That's not the American way. Because you as an elected official do not represent the president. You represent the people who elected you, and you're supposed to look after their best interests, which at some times can be at odds with the president. Today, the way the political landscape is, you give your loyalty to the president. It's always kind of been this way, but Donald Trump has taken it to a whole nother level. So his administration, Project 2025, all is about every government agency to be falling in line and have fealty to President Trump. So Ron Paul is now bringing this up publicly. You have to think, why didn't he do this last week? Why is he saying it now? You gotta know how the game is played. They're testing the limits of power. How much can they take? And Ron Paul is basically telling Jerome Powell, hey, you need to fall in line. And Jerome Powell saying, no. So Jerome Powell's fed under fire. Now, this is going to be the real test because Trump kind of tried this the first time he was president and he backed down very quickly. This time around, he has a different mandate. So we'll see. But Ron Paul calls for sound money revolution. And I actually agree with that. I do agree with what he's saying. Sound money revolution. Ron Paul expressed strong reservations about the Federal Reserve's current role and its potential impact on the U.S. economy, specifically targeting Fed Chair Jerome Powell's leadership amid political pressures. According to Paul, the Fed's immense influence over financial policy extends far beyond its extended remit, with decisions that affect everything from market stability to inflation. This level of influence, Paul argues, as he's done many times in the past, is problematic given the account of accountability in the Fed's operation. So, yes, has he brought this up in the past? Yeah. And it went nowhere. But for the first time in American history, we have a political climate where maybe something could happen. Maybe. It's like I gotta go back to Game of Thrones again when the new king or Joffrey or what was saying, hey, we got all the power, and his grandpa was telling him, but no, the Iron Bank does. And when they called the Iron Bank down there, the Iron Bank was looking at him like, what? And he's like, I'm the king. And the Iron Bank said, so who pays for your military? Without gold, you're nothing. So what do you give us? That's the Federal Reserve. Paul's critique comes following Powell's comments on his decision to remain in this position despite pressure from former President Trump. So, in other words, what Trump was trying to do is since he appoints, he wants to remove everybody in power that's currently in power and install with a Trump loyalist. And he wants to do that with the Fed. And Jerome Powell saying, nah, we're not doing that. And so I want to see this fight. Are they going to be able to force him out some kind of way? This is going to be interesting. This Paul believes Powell clarified that his role is legally protected from direct presidential dismissal, which is true, asserting his independence from the executive branch. However, Paul believes that this setup gives the Federal Reserve unchecked power, enabling it to operate as an untouchable financial authority. This power, he contends, creates conditions. No, in what he's saying is we don't need to have any agency out there that ain't going to do what Trump wants them to do. We need to put that in check. That's why this is coming up now. He was pretty unhappy, Paul said of Powell's comments. In truth, he didn't have the answers. It tells you about the influence that the Fed has on the economy. And I do agree with that. I do not believe the Federal Reserve should have the type of power that it does. Completely, they're not elected, and they run our economy, how things are going with our money. I don't agree with that. However, I'm calling into question Ron Paul's motives for bringing it up now. The former congressman continued his analysis by linking the Fed's decisions to broaden economic implications, highlighting how monetary policy decisions can impact everyday Americans. Paul raised concerns over rising national debt, deficit spending, emphasizing the potential for malinvestment as the Fed navigates interest rates and inflation control. According to Paul, these choices do not merely steer economic indicators, but directly influence citizens' financial well-being. That is all true. But will he be able to reverse it? I don't think so. You know that old saying, you bite the hand that feeds you. If I don't think Trump is going to bring this up, but Ron Paul's not in office. His son is Rand Paul, but Ron has been screaming this from the libertarian side for decades. But I'm going to make another prediction. I think that Trump is going to be hands off. He is not going to go down this road, and he knows why he can't. So you're not going to see him fight this. But we will be, you hear me saying this, let's be on the lookout for this. Putin discusses U.S. dollar dominance and BRICS common currency. Now, here's another, I said this before the election. It's no secret that Donald Trump fancies Vladimir Putin and wants to work directly with him in some way or another. But I said at some point, what Putin is doing with BRICS is going directly against and challenging the authority that the United States has on the world financial economy with the US dollar dominance. Putin's entire goal is to remove US dollar dominance, which would destroy American life as we know it right now. So I had a question before the election. I said, if Donald Trump is elected, will he go head to head against BRICS, which his whole sole destiny is designed to marginalize the United States? What would the US president do? I don't have an answer to that. I have that question, so I'm watching closely. Putin dismissed claims that Russia would abandon the US dollar. Now, isn't this interesting? This is after the election. Putin dismissed claims that Russia would abandon the US dollar, downplayed BRICS currency ambitions, and emphasized the dollar's global dominance. Full stop. That is the complete opposite of what he just said 2 weeks ago. Are you guys recognizing this? They just had the BRICS conference in Kazan, Russia. And Putin, while Biden was president, had a lot to say about getting rid of the US's ability to put sanctions on everybody getting rid of the United States' ability to use our US dollar as a weapon to force other nations to do what's in the West's best interest and not their own. Marginalizing the US dollar, creating a new currency that they don't need US permission. He's been running his mouth about that for 5 years, but all of a sudden, Donald Trump's elected, and now he's backpedaling. Let me know in the chat box, am I missing something here? Because you guys have seen me read these articles. Do you see what's going on? Putin's take on US dollar, why Russia isn't turning away yet. What? That's not what you said last week. Russian President Vladimir Putin addressed speculation regarding Russia's stance on the US dollar during a speech at the Valdy Discussion Club in Sochi, clarifying that Russia is not looking to abandon its use. Oh, man. This is why I do this every day. We know what he said and what he's been saying for the last 5 years. And now this is something different. What changed? Can anybody take a wild guess? Oh, we have a new president. Russia, in any case, do not reject the dollar and do not intend to do. Okay, let's go back. I'm going to take you through a little memory lane. Dang it, I wish I had more time. Let's go back. The last BRICS conference in South Africa that Putin wasn't allowed to go to because he would be arrested the moment he gets off the tarmac. And what did South Africa say? They pushed back. They said, "Are you guys crazy? We're not trying to. We don't want to marginalize the West. We still want to do business with the United States. Stop doing all that crazy talk." Russia, Iran, North Korea, Brazil, stop doing all that crazy talk. We're trying to work, no, India. We're trying to work with the United States. We just want to have an alternative at the same time. And Russia said, nah, 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 nah. See, our goal is we don't need the United States. But now what is the agenda? How will the United States? These are my unanswered questions. What's going to happen to Ukraine? Everyone's saying, oh, well, yeah, Trump is president, so now the war in Ukraine is going to end. What does that look like? What do you mean by it's going to just end overnight? What is Russia going to just say, all right, we're done. We're pulling out of Ukraine and we're moving all of our troops out? Is that what it looks like? No. Let me tell you what it looks like for them. Russia will say, oh, yeah, we're not going to march on Kyiv, but we're carving up the east side of Ukraine, and that's now Russian territory, period. But Trump will say, I ended the war. Although Russia does not plan to stop using the dollar, Putin acknowledged that the country is exploring new financial. So he's soft pedaling this now. Him and Trump, they've got a plan. Now, whether or not this will be good or bad, I don't know. I only looking at what is. What I'll tell you what is not bad. If Putin is backpedaling this and saying, yeah, we're not gonna get rid of the US dollar. Y'all can keep what you got. That's good for America. If he's just running his mouth to placate Trump while actually doing what he really wants to do, which we know what he really wants to do. You think Putin cares about America and American interests? He's still pissed off about the fall of the Soviet Union. Don't care about America. He's looking after his best interest, which is what he's supposed to do. And so as Americans, we gotta think here. Whatever Putin does, no matter how friendly he is as Trump, is not in our best interest. Just remember that. JP Morgan Chase denies 53,000. What do you mean deny? See, this is why we have decentralization and crypto. So a bank can't say, oh, well, no, we're not giving you the money that is yours. That's what a centralized system does. You got to ask for permission to get your own money. They are denying a $53,000 pension payout to a widow. The bank treated her like insignificant cockroach to be stepped on. I'm not surprised. This is why the whole crypto movement in the first place. JP Morgan Chase is refusing to pay a monthly pension to a widow whose husband worked at the bank for 10 years. Next year, 2025, you're going to start noticing my brand is expanding, not just ILCA for Ivy League Crypto Academy, but Ivy League Coaching Academy. And I'm bringing back my whole personal development, self-improvement. That's what I was doing way before I was in crypto. And one of the main reasons, and I'll be sharing my story when at that time, that I worked so hard to fire my boss is to be independent, complete independence, freedom. This man worked for this bank for 10 years, and they're not going to give him his pension from 1969 to 79. Melvin died in 1988 due to multiple organ failure. This is another thing, too. If he retired in 1979, he only lived 10 more years. I do not believe in that whole, I got to work until I retire, and next retirement age will be up to 72, only for you to die a couple of years later. What the hell? I retired at 36 years old. I've been retired for 12 years, and I'm not even 50. This is a crying shame. The bank has refused to disburse $53,000 in pension, accumulated for more than 3 decades. Elaine says she feels like the bank has squished her like a bug. If Jamie Dimon were aware of this, he would wish to do the right thing and honor the pension. Jamie Dimon's aware of this. Nothing is stopping them from doing so. I would think the bank would want to do the right thing. The banks don't, it's not about right or wrong. See, this is what people got to understand. It's business. It's not about right or wrong. The bank ain't about sympathy. The lending giant says that while Melvin is entitled to a vested retirement package prior to his departure from the bank, he failed to fill out paperwork that would have declared Elaine as the beneficiary of the pension after his passing. On a technicality, you're going to screw her out of her husband's money on a technicality. About 40 years ago, Ronald Reagan's administration passed the Retirement Equity Act of 1984, which requires qualified pension plans to approve automatic survivor benefits. But because Melvin left the bank before the law was passed, JP Morgan argues that his failure to fill out a form means Elaine isn't entitled to anything. Technically, they're right. They're right, technically. She isn't entitled to anything because it didn't happen on time, and her husband didn't fill out the right paperwork. The right thing to do, but give her the money. Jamie Dimon pisses out $50,000. While we sympathize with Mrs. Silverbug, she is asking us to pay without necessary documentation. We follow the terms of our pension plan that would not permit individual exceptions. JP Morgan last quarter recorded a $12.9 billion in net income, but they ain't going to pay out the $53,000. This is why we need to be educated and control our own fate. This is freaking ridiculous. One altcoin will outrun both Ethereum and Solana. All right, you guys ready to write this down? Normally, normally I would only cover this for the inner circle, but we might find a token that we can look on. Ah, we already got it. Sui. We already have this one in our list. So I hope you guys have added that to your portfolio. Okay, so I wanted to see if there was something new, and it's not. It's a token we already know about. Sui. Analysts predict the euro to slide to parity with US dollar under Trump's second term. Donald Trump's return to the White House may lead to the euro trading at par with the US dollar. Okay. Donald Trump's recently confirmed return to the White House is likely to result in the European Union's currency, the euro, trading at par with the US dollar by year end, according to predictions from two Dutch banks. Other banks, including Japan's Mizuho Financial Group and Deutsche Bank, forecast the euro will trade closer to parity at $1.03 and $1.05 respectively by the end of 2024. The euro last traded at par with the US dollar in July 2022. With the Fed raising rates or keeping rates high to fight inflation, just as the ECB continues to lower rates likely at an accelerated pace, the widening interest rate differential is likely to weigh on the euro, possibly hitting parity. Okay. US spot Bitcoin ETFs rake in a staggering $621.9 million in inflows in a single day. So this is what I said would happen if Trump became president. Then it's going to be a golden age in this era because now you're going to have all the millionaires and billionaires who were reluctant to want to get in and invest in the crypto space because of the regulation, SEC going after everybody. Now they feel more comfortable. So you're going to see an explosion here. And this is of people who have money getting into crypto. Both US, didn't the Fed announce they were about to? Yeah, well, they didn't say that they were going to do it. They said that they were going to be looking at it. Is a high possibility. That's true, Kenny. So both US spot Bitcoin and Ether ETFs recorded gains in Wednesday's session. 12 spot Bitcoin ETFs raked in a combined 621.9 million. Leading the charge was, Fidelity. Fidelity's trying to pick it up. ARK Invest, and then Grayscale, and then BlackRock. Okay. All right, last one up before I got to go. Crypto exec abducted in broad daylight. All right, so this is another reason too. You do not want to put a target on your back. In the network marketing space, direct sales, you make money because you need to show people that you're making money. So people show off the house, the cars, the lifestyle, the vacations, and that's what they use to recruit. Say, hey, if you guys come and join me and my team, you can live this type of lifestyle. So you're always fun. I have never been that way in my 25-year career. It has hurt me a little bit because people they want to go with the guy that's showing off his, $150,000 car, $5 million home and all that. I don't do that. In the crypto space, you definitely don't want to do that. What do I tell you guys on MQT? Your MQT holdings? I got nervous. I remember it was 2 months ago. Lynette was, she's very transparent. And she showed a list of wallets that had the highest MQT holdings. And I saw my wallet there. I said, oh, hell no. I moved all my stuff around. So you won't find any my wallets in the top holding list. I still have all that MQT. I just don't have it in one spot. And I definitely don't want nobody to know who has it. Now, those of you in the inner circle, I showed you guys. I showed you guys what I did and how I've got it spread out all over the place. And in different ones. It's not all in MetaMask. So you don't want to put a target on your back. Now, while a scammer may not know which wallet is mine, this is another reason why, too, you do not want to do activity in that wallet that's considered a whale wallet or a holder because every transaction you do, people could trace that and see, and then eventually they can connect the dots. So I'm going to cover that stuff in the 5-day challenge this month. Security and some of the tricks and things you want and don't want to do with your MQT holdings. That's going to be what, November? Oh, God dang. The news this morning might have thrown a monkey wrench in. I don't know if I'm going to be here. As of right now, we are having it November 18th, but I might be out of town. We'll see. Why crypto wealth now comes with grave risks. Whoever this was got abducted. The abduction of a crypto CEO exposes stark security risk for high-profile crypto holders. Okay, I want to go on record. I'm saying this publicly. I I don't have no much crypto. I am not a high-profile crypto holder. I ain't got nothing. If y'all try to kidnap me, you're gonna find nothing. Don't even look at me my way. An abduction in crypto Toronto, an abduction in Toronto reveals hidden dangers for crypto holders. This was in Toronto? Dang, I was thinking like South America or Philippines or Asia or something. He got abducted in Toronto? The president and CEO of the Toronto-based crypto firm WonderFi, Dean Skurka, was reportedly abducted in a high-traffic area of Toronto during rush hour on Wednesday. Police explained that the suspects forced Skurka into a vehicle and demanded a ransom. Later that day, he was found unharmed following an electronic payment. Dang, dang, he paid them $1 million. Oh, the average crypto person, even early adopters who may be multimillionaires, tend not to have really great physical security, and often they don't have great operational. If I travel abroad, I'm having security with me. I remember, I forgot where we were traveling. I think it was Provis. It was like, yeah, man, we gonna be security. I don't know if that was we were in Miami or Texas or somewhere. Yeah. Yeah. This is insane. The fact that it happened in Toronto. All right, I am out of time. We have now the Move Quest presentation that I need to open up the Zoom room for. If you learned something new, I hope. Let me share screen. I can't forget to share this to people that's asked, Brandon, how do I get your courses? I am extending. I had a promo for Move Quest. Get all 10 of my courses for $299. That is over, but I am extending it 80% off. So for $499, you get access to all the courses. Walk to wealth.info. I'm extending this to the rest of this month. People need to be educated, especially now Trump's in office and all the millionaires is coming to the crypto space. I think we need to be paying attention to this and learning what it's all about. So go to walktowealth.info and you can get all the courses for 80% off. If you're in the inner circle or diamond, you're going to earn a commission if you share this with others. So if you've got people in your community